Alright, welcome back to Super Sentai Review, episode number 252. You probably noticed the time, like, Nick, shouldn't you be at work right now? Yes, I would, but they gave me a day off today because I expect to be really slow today. So, and plus I'm off basically for tomorrow, and I'm basically not working until Monday. Because I requested tomorrow off because I'm going to a Fanboy Expo. But we're not here to discuss that. We're here to discuss some Fiveman. We're here discussing episodes 34 to 39. Yes, 6 episodes of this series. Now, one thing that I did not bring up before, it's by Captain Cavalier, his actor. He previously played, get this, he was in Flashman, believe it or not. He is one of 2 Flashman alumni who appear in the series. The other is a character who appears in episode 35, which I'll get to her. Now, Captain Cavalier played Green Flash. Yep, he played Green Flash. And from what I read, he got the part because he approached him to do the part. And it seems like the way you can tell by his performance, he is enjoying playing this character. He loves it. But 34, basically, he takes over the role as captain of the Valor, or basically the ship that the Zone uses. What would Captain Gore, might ask? Well, he's reducing this episode to scrubbing toilets. Well, first thing you see him do, he's cleaning a urinal. Yes, seriously, cleaning a urinal. Now, here's the kind of the thing. Is this a mixed bathroom that they're using? Not sure, because this looks kind of awkward to see on a spaceship. It's like, this is not a room. This is basically like, it seems like this is like, even though it's obviously a set, obviously, because it's a show, but it seems as though this is not like a room where this bathroom is. It seems like it's near a section of the bridge, just cornered up by some walls. With the only door being a freaking curtain. Yes, seriously. So imagine if you're one of the male members of Zone trying to use the bathroom, and all of a sudden the female members are peeping on you when you try to use the bathroom. You would feel very awkward. Yes, seriously. And of course, you have Captain Cavalier's like, you missed a spot, Gorokan. Like, he absolutely hates Cavalier. Now, one thing about Captain Cavalier that I have mentioned once before, I'm going to bring up here again. He has a tendency to say some of his lines in English. I do not know the reason for it. As far as I know, he is one of 2 to do this. The other being, I believe, the Black Cocker Ranger. Yes. That one does too. I know because I briefly watched Cocker Ranger. I'm going to go back and watch the beginning of it when I get a chance to do that. That would come in really soon. Don't worry about that. You're probably thinking, because I've already watched Jetman, Zoo Ranger, and Die Ranger. You think, is Cocker Ranger the next one? No, I'll reveal that when I get to the last episode. That will come definitely, but that will come after the next time I'm going to talk about. Okay? Sweet. So, basically, they're still using the whole fusion plan thing, which they've been using since episode 29. And they use it up until 37. And then they take a 3-episode break from it before resuming with episode 41. Yeah, do not know the reason why they stopped using it for a few episodes, but that's what they did. They basically used these other things. Yep. So, what is the plot of episode 34, you might ask? In episode 34, it's about turning humans into cans. And we have where most of the entire 5-man team, except for 5 red and 5 yellow, turn to cans. And of course, Danjo was like, hey, since this is 5 pink, can I have her? And I'll pay you. Captain was like, I don't accept money from my subordinates. Here you go. Yeah. And it's all about having the finest cuisine. Interesting idea. Is this a reused plot idea from previous Sentai series? Shockingly, no. I've never seen this one before. This was quite cool. Interesting idea, but very creepy. Also, the thing is called a land shark, because they combine a crab with a freaking shark. I'm like, that's interesting. Now, in the case of episode 35, Goku's Secret. Like, there's a secret. By the way, this is the one that features Flash Yellow as a guest star. Yep. As Yuriko, an old friend of, well, the 5-man's parents. And she appears solely in this episode. And yes, this is her only appearance. It's like, okay, and here's the strange thing about this woman. Did you know, like, you watch the episode because clearly she's basically alumni with the guy who plays Cavalier. And here's the strange thing, though. These two do not share a screen together. You're thinking, what? Seriously? Yeah, seriously. Like, this I thought was really weird. Like, these were in Fiveman. Like, these were in Flashman together. And they don't show screen time together. I think maybe Cavalier sees her, but they don't share screen time together. That would have been interesting to see. Two former Flashmen now playing two completely different characters. One playing a one-shot character, the other playing one of the villains. Which I believe the guy who plays him, I believe this is the second time this has happened, where they bring back a previous Ranger for a Sentai for a different series playing one of the villains. In the case of Captain Cavalier, he is he's basically the secondary villain. The other one is one of the underneath ones. They were like Dinah Pink as a villain, and the actors anyways. Here they brought back basically Green Flash as a villain, which was really cool. And the whole secret is that apparently Gaku has been telling is going to his plateau, is supposedly where their parents first met. And supposedly, imagine talking to them, talking about the sibling problems. And he can't exactly explain it himself, but it takes Yuriko to explain it to the siblings. And of course, at one point they couldn't trust them, and of course they didn't trust them at the end of the episode. It's a good character piece for Fiveman. I thought the episode was pretty good. Now, in the case of episode 36, the Super Trend Strategy. What's episode is this one? A body swap episode. Yes, a body swap episode, which Power Ranger uses idea in Downcharge, where they have it where, get this, they have where the Pink Ranger and Red Ranger swap bodies. And just by sheer coincidence, these two actually were dating. I think they had just started dating, or they're basically just before they started dating in the show. Yeah, so body swapping in the case of Sentai, I don't think this has happened before, but this I thought was really weird. When they try to transform, they can't transform for some reason, and they can't exactly swap morphers. Because they probably thought oh, it would look awkward to see a woman in the black spandex suit or see a guy in the yellow spandex suit, despite the fact they've actually done that before. Like, there have been, heck, the very first yellow Sentai Ranger was a guy. And yet they were ready for a black female Ranger. I think that was the reason. I think that was the reason why they didn't have them, like, swap costumes. Because they weren't ready for a woman in Japan to wear the black suit. At the time, anyways. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, in the case of these episodes, like, the only episode they don't use they don't use Megazord is episode 38, which is surprising. I'll get to my final thoughts on the Megazord stuff. Now, it is an interesting idea, having the two twins swap, basically. I thought it was a really interesting idea. Human canon, this actually started using something called the 5-tractor, Tactor, which basically popped up in this episode, and I believe it popped up in 38. It did not pop up in 39, if I remember. No, it just pops up for 2 episodes. Yeah, basically, it's created in episode 38 and 37, used in 38, and, like, I don't remember seeing it in episode 39. Nope. By the way, they use it as a human cannon to destroy one of the monsters of the episode. Yes, because this monster was very unbeatable, so they used one of their own new weapons, basically, to beat it, which is interesting when it comes to Fiveman, where this actually is the first Super Sentai I can think of, where you have a giant monster defeated by one of the regular weapons, basically the 5-tactor. Yeah, and then basically we have the fake sibling teachers, where, get this, we have Cavalier, Gora, Dora, I think it's just basically the human ones, even Billion. It's mostly just everybody except for Dados. Yeah, he's Dados. He's only not used in this episode. As a matter of fact, he's actually absent. It's mostly just pretty much everybody except for him. This actually is his first absent episode. As a matter of fact, he's not in episodes 37 and 38, which is weird for him. And this is the first absence he's had since episode 20. And he would not be there for 40 and 41, but he'll be back for the rest of the whole entire series. Don't worry about that. So, you have Gore posing as 5 Red, Cavalier, I think it was 5 Blue, Billy, I think he posed as 5 Black, Dora, I think she posed as 5 Pink, and Zelza, the Fang, who's the Enforcer, she posed as 5 Yellow? Yes. Interesting idea, but anybody can tell in the case of the Gore one, like, they just didn't bother to have him shave his mustache off because he's clearly disguised as 5 Red in civilian form, and you can just tell that's not him because he does not have a mustache. Yeah, and the reason why they're there, because there's a weapon underneath the school, and I forgot to mention 37. Like I mentioned, 37 is the last one for 3 episodes where we don't use any fusion monsters. Yeah. Though, the last officially used the fusion monster would be in episode 46. And interesting enough, 40 does not feature a fusion monster at all. Well, not really anyway. It features something else, which I'll get to that. But this is interesting, though, the fact that the Gora's Mystic was absent for 2 episodes. I do not know what the reason was for him being absent. He just was not here for some reason. Heck, Billy was even absent for 37, which is... Wait, 37. I remember him being in the episode. Yeah, he was here. I remember seeing him there, so... Yeah, he was definitely there. So, I don't know why this thing... Now, I get why the girl wasn't there, but I know for a fact Billy was there. I remember seeing him in the episode. He posed as one of the siblings. Yeah, so, like, I remember seeing him in the episode, so I know for a fact he was there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also in 38 and 39, and Largeby's Gorm was not there. And not even Black Gorm was there either, which is interesting. Yeah, so they find this mysterious weapon they're looking for, and, like, it's this previous creature that Billy used on a mission called Collectibles Automaton. Yeah, it's a creature that poisons the sea life. And apparently it was on a UFO. They call it a UFO, which I thought was really weird. Like, they're an alien species. Just call it just one of their spaceships. And they crash on Earth at some point. And we got it somehow underneath this elementary school they're using. And of course they use the Ginga Man. Their grunt group basically. Well, Billion's grunt group basically digging the thing up. And of course and the thing is actually dug up by, it's actually found by Ginga Black. It's found by 5 Black. I don't want to think Ginga, but probably because they think of Ginga Man. And of course, they find him, and of course, he's destroyed by 5 Robo. I believe, yeah, he's destroyed by 5 Robo. 38 is interesting, though. This is the first episode since episode 1. There's no Megazord fight. Yeah, there's no Megazord fight in episode 39. Yeah, I thought this is kind of weird. The fact this is the first one not to use any kind of... It's mostly a character named Mern Solar, who apparently has a thing for Billion in this episode. Which, by the way, this character, never seen again at this one. Nope, not really. Yeah, I don't know exactly the reason why that... This character just randomly pops up here. One episode pops up with Rebellion, and it turns out he's just using her. Though, it's interesting, good. It's an okay love story per se, but it just feels as though it's completely out of nowhere. Yeah, that's what it feels like to me. It feels like this just came completely out of nowhere. This episode. Yes, that's what it seems like anyways. Yeah, and apparently she's got a monster form, which of course basically, like, she does use in the episode. Excuse me. Which of course she uses bullying to basically, because it got so out of control when she was using it, because she believes he was for whatever justice. Turns out, nope, he wasn't. He was just using her. And eventually, he's the one who actually stabs her because she wanted him to do it. Yeah, in the episode, he is basically like, "What are you doing?" And she grabs his sword and she proceeds to stab herself with the freaking sword. And before she dies, supposedly he's bullying, but she's actually looking at Five Red in civilian form. Then she dies, and you see him basically where he just takes a white flower, slices it up, and basically puts in the ocean. He apparently did the same thing when her parents died. Though apparently he does, oh yeah, the reason why I saved you? Because I was thirsty for blood. Yep, that was the reason for it. Yeah, and that's the episode's nutshell. We do get some interesting stuff. Now with this episode, with the finishing episode 30, I have exactly 9 more to go for the entire series, which is awesome. So, with the very next one, I'll be back to doing 4. But in the case of the remaining 5 episodes after that, it's going to be 3 and then 2, and then we'll cap off from there. Okay? Next video. Bye.